how I've managed to live rent-free for almost 6 months. Out of the last 183 days, I have only paid rent 47 of them. How have I done that? Through house and pet sitting. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about trusted house sitters in the end. That is something I am a member of, I am an affiliate of, and you'll see a link down below that will help you get 25% off. But full transparency, not all of my house sits came from trusted house sitters. So back in August, I decided that I wanted to cut my expenses a little bit and maybe see more of Mexico. I've been in Playa del Carmen for about 3 months. And so I found a site called trustedhousesitters.com, and I put up a profile, and I can do more content if you guys are interested to see like what my profile looks like and why I think my profile did really well. So I put up the profile and I started looking at, sits like in Mexico. And I found one after about a month in Merida, Yucatan. So I was on the eastern side of the Yucatan Peninsula, and Merida is on the northern side of the Yucatan Peninsula, actually in the state of Yucatan in Mexico. So it was about 5 hours from where I was. And it was a couple, it was a man and woman, man and wife, that had two cats, and they were looking for someone to house sit for them for 2 months, to cat sit for them for 2 whole months. And everything about the pictures of the house looked very lovely. Well, they were okay with it, right? But I was like, we absolutely must talk on video before I'm going to agree with this. And they were fine with that. We actually ended up talking twice on video. And I didn't think that I was going to get that house sit. I think at the time I only had one person from me being a pet sitter previously left me a review, right? But I didn't have any reviews of sits that I had actually done through trusted house sitters. And because these people were like leaving for so long, I was like, there's no way they're going to pick somebody who's new to the site. But I made a good impression on them, and I was able to come to Merida and live here in this beautiful house. It's 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths, plus a pool in the backyard. It's absolutely lovely. And it's a great neighborhood. And they left me this great list of like places to go and people to, talk to, and everything was just lovely. Right. So that was my first one. So that was a big chunk, that was about 60 days of free rent. Then in living here and going out to expat events, to going out to places where, well, really, I mean, there are places that like locals and foreigners mix. I met some people and, became friends with them. And one of them, if you're friends with foreigners, they often go back to their home country to like visit family. And so one of my new friends needed someone to cat sit for her for almost a couple of weeks. And so as soon as I left here, and I'm actually back in the first place that I cat sat at, and I'll tell you how that happened. But as soon as I left here, I went to my friend's place and I stayed there, I think, for 9 days. And then I did pay rent for an Airbnb for a couple of months. And then I had reconnected with a childhood friend who needed a dog sitter over Thanksgiving, right? So I went to the States and I took care of some business while I was in the States. And I also got to, hang out with this lovely dog and live in this really beautiful house while they were gone. And I think that house is 3 bedroom, 4.5 baths. I don't know. It might be bigger than that, and a big pool. So I'm staying in really nice places, and they let me drive their BMW SUV while I was gone, while they were gone. So that was really cool. I was like living it up. And then I came back to Merida because I wanted to see some friends, and I kind of put down some roots, in the couple months that I had been here, and so I hung out with some friends. But then I went to Guadalajara, and some people that I had met online through Facebook, actually through my YouTube coach, who connected me with these people on Facebook. Shout out to Amanda and Justin of Entrepreneur Expats. They needed someone to watch their cat and their dog while they went back to the States to get married. So I was in Guadalajara for a month, and then I came back to Merida, and I had been looking on trusted house sitters, and there just wasn't anything that like looked good to me. And again, I'll make another video and I'll talk about like some of my strategy of like how I pick and what I pass on. But I didn't have, I had actually paid for an apartment, a deposit on an apartment, but I had loosely, I wasn't like knocking on, these people's doors that I had originally house set for here. I wasn't messaging them constantly, but I had messaged them a couple times. Like there was a cool Christmas event going on in Merida, and I wanted to make sure they knew about it. And so, I kind of loosely kept in touch with them, and they reached out and said, hey, we're going to have a couple trips this summer. Would you be interested? And I said, yeah, sure. That sounds great. But then they called me out of the blue and they said, are you in Merida? Because, and I'm trying to say that word correctly, and it's so hard for me to say it like if I say it in the US, it's just Merida, right? But if you say it here, it's like Merida. So forgive my pronunciation. I'm working on it. But one of their parents is really sick in the U.S. and so they had to leave suddenly. And they said, "Is it possible for you to do this?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I did lose my deposit for the apartment that I was going to rent, but I'm going to be here for at least 3 weeks. So that is how I have managed to basically live for free all but 47 days out of the last 183. And, as you hear in the story, there was only one that I actually got through trusted house sitters. I do think it can be a cool investment for you though, because you can find places like all over the world, right? The way that I've done it, it's mostly been kind of locally or definitely like within Mexico, except for the like childhood friend. So you definitely can check in with friends. There's Facebook groups that you can look in, free Facebook groups that you can get house sitting jobs. On Trusted House Sitters, you're not allowed to get paid. And some of the house sitting groups on Facebook, you're not allowed to get paid, but there are other options out there as well. For right now, I'm just like, hey, I've got free rent and free utilities. Like life is good. Let me know. Have you done house sitting or pet sitting? What was your experience? Do you like it? What would you like to know more about that, especially about house sitting internationally, like house sitting as a foreigner in another country? And, are you a cat person or a dog person? I'm kind of both. But I have more experience. I definitely have more experience with cats, but I do love dogs. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up this one, but I'll see you in the next video. Let me know in the comments your experiences with house sitting, cat sitting, dog sitting, bunny sitting, whatever. Sometimes people on trusted house sitters just want you to be there to like watch their house or to just to water their plants. Sometimes there's not even pets, so that's an option maybe if you're allergic. But I found that it's a really cool way to travel and lower my travel expenses. Be able to sock a little more money away. And yeah, I'm going to shut up now. Well, thank you for being on my channel. Thank you for happy, productive comments that are meant to like spark good discussion, not just be angry. Oh, bless their souls. All right, I will see you in the next video.